Gold medal game. Welcome back to the 38th 38th edition of the National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. Michael Carritenuto here with the man that got us started. Heard so much about him last year in Cincinnati, but Ciro DeGasper is joining us. And Ciro, thank you so much. Obviously, your family, the DeGasperis Family Foundation, sponsoring softball. We got the gold medal game between the black team, Apollo, and the white team, which is the Team X. Then the gold medal game and all live streams are brought to you by USA, the official media and technology sponsor of the National Veterans Wheelchair Games. What is up, my friend? How are you?
Well, I'm really thrilled to be here at the final game. I didn't expect to be here with the health issues that I had. I missed the last 2 years, and I really missed it physically and morally to participate here. This has been a real, every year I look forward to this, July and August. But I'm here now, so I'm giving it everything I can. I got my son taking my place, and he's done a fantastic job.
Yes, Dave doing the PA. He actually sat in with me last year telling me, obviously, how you got it started. But then I learned that you started with UPS. You got UPS involved. They're still obviously involved in the slalom and the Super G. So 21 years for softball, but UPS, 35 out of the 38 years they have been involved in this. What made this a cause so close or so important to you?
Well, UPS has always been noted to help others, and this is no different. This is a company that strives on community involvement, and this is one of the efforts that Vets Foreign Affairs and this just hit home with me when I first met a veteran with the PVA, Paralyzed Veterans, and they asked for me whether or not UPS would be interested in helping them with a project, and I said, well, sure, let me know what it is, and I'll talk to the management company. I mean, and what do you want us to do? And they did, and I contacted the management with UPS, and they said, okay, fine, we'll help. And here I am.
And then they wanted to get softball started, and you took your efforts over here.
I played professional ball, and that was always the sport that was in my part. And they hadn't have a sport of baseball, and since they don't have a good
big fly ball into center.
A good sport of baseball, but they do have softball. And I talked them into it after I displayed my heart and soul for the sport. And they adopted it, and I put it in play. And we started putting up the funds to make it happen. And they took over, and I just kept it going.
That's absolutely awesome. Ciro DeGasper joining us. Got UPS involved. They're still here, the Super G, tomorrow morning. And yes. I know you've seen that. And it's just unbelievable. And I know I said it a million times the last 2 years, but not having the use of the court. Ooh, it's a big hit there. Tip down the third baseline. And that's going to score one. The ground rule double. And Sean Castle going back to third base. But the use of no core, Ciro, just to see what they're able to do every day, and I've said this a million times, my grandpa was a World War II and Korean War vet, 20 years in the Army. And, it's not about, expecting anything and just the competitive nature, but to overcome everything and no limits. I know that Cincinnati last year, that was the big theme, no limits. But when you see the course for the Super G, it is just unbelievable what they set their mind to that they can do.
Yeah, this is you watch these men and these women all in wheelchairs, many without the ability to walk or to get out of the chair by themselves, that put the athletic ability to good use and have done this for years and years and years. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
Sonny throws the first, and he's safe at first, and Tipton comes home.
Nystrom with the base hit bunt. Oh, and Tipton, well, celebrating, crossing home plate. And he's very excited that he scored.
He's healthy. He's doing okay. That's not a scream of pain. That's a scream of victory.
And when you look at, and I know a few years ago, because last year, like I told you, was my first games being involved. Such an honor to be able to call all these events and see these vets compete. And again, it's such a high level. But I know a few years ago they had to move it indoors because in summertime it's a little hot no matter where you are. So it's actually just a great setup now that you have it indoors as well.
Oh yeah, this is. I mean, some cities we were in, it just was impossible to have it inside because the ceilings were just too low. Hi. But outside it was just got too hot. And the athletes were actually feigning outside, and it became too much of a health issue. So they found a way to go to the cities that have convention centers or auditoriums in high schools and things like that had ceilings that were high enough for people to play ball.
Well, which is a great idea. Well, we head to the bottom of the first 3 runs for Team X, the white team, as Apollo in the black jerseys. They'll come up now. Both teams able to score hugely. Ciro de Gasper's joining me. Started with UPS, getting UPS involved, and then starts the family foundation, the Gaspers Foundation. This is awesome, man. Because last year I heard a lot about you. Obviously, your son hung out. He'll come hang out in a little bit, but we had to get the Godfather on as I look at it.
Well, I don't want to be kind of that. I mean, reflected it that way. But I just go along. I don't look for the recognition. I just look for the athletes to have an avenue for excel and use their sport for what it's intended to. And that I think I found that, and they found it. It just shows what appreciation they have for the sport. And when I came in last Saturday, I just couldn't get away from them. I was trying to read the newspaper, and I think I got past one section in 2 hours, and they were just always all over me. And that's the recognition that I want. And if there's any recognition to be had, that was the important part.
Well, and that's awesome. And Mr. Andy Byrne, who actually joined me for a broadcast, Air Force vet, lifted 300 pounds today in weightlifting. Now he's all ready to go for softball. Had a hit, scored a run, but he presented you with a very nice photo before the game started.
Yeah, he did. Yep. Yeah, he's a nice guy. Yeah, his dog died a year or so ago. His guide dog, and we were able to purchase another one for him.
Very nice. Yeah, the fur babies are tough to lose, man.
Yeah.
I know that much. So, and I was going to say, because you're saying the heat, we were out at swimming today. Last year at the track, this year we streamed the swimming, and just to see what they're able to do in a pool, I mean, adaptive-wise.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it started out a little muggy and hot, then it got a little overcast, and it drizzled on us for about 5 minutes. You know, typical Florida weather.
Yeah.
Drizzled on us for a few minutes, and the clouds opened up, and it was muggy again.
Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm originally from New Jersey. We live in Phoenix, but I'm originally from Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So I've got the best and worst of both. You know,
yeah,
high humidity and heat, and anyone that says it's just a dry heat has never been there, because when it's 115 and up every day for a month, it's not cold.
No, it's not. Well, we're very happy. I'm thrilled that we got that 23 people in my family are here. I just don't have my brother here. He unfortunately had a heart attack in January, and he can't fly. So he lives in Allentown, but he's made every tournament here in the last 21 years when I started with my foundation.
Is he doing okay though?
He's doing fine. He's doing fine. He just can't take a chance and fly.
Right. No, absolutely. Oh, the big guy's up. Little Mick. Although I don't get why. Matt told me, Matt McCunis said his name was Little Mick, and I was like, I'm barely taller than you standing up right now, so I don't know if I feel comfortable saying that.
Yeah.
This is down 3-0 with a runner on third. And the runner on third is number 17.
Well, I don't see number 11. That was the basketball player, junior.
On
On the ground ball, but right to short. He scoops it up, throws home for the play.
Oh,
Play.
and he's out.
And he's out at home.
Ryan Lindstrom tags Bill Hannigan for the second out.
No, he shouldn't have tried.
Yeah, it was a hard. Both of these teams can field. I know Frank Johnson over at shortstop took the gold medal in rowing earlier.
Yeah.
For, the white team.
There's a lot of people, a lot of guys here that do duplicate sports. They can really do a lot of things with the abilities that they have, and they practice it. They work at it at home.
All right. Oh yeah, no, and learning from the guys the last few years, and the women too, the men and women too, that the leagues that they have at home. Nice base hit.
Goes to left field.
And that is number 11 with the hit, Arthur Wimberly. Gets the base hit. Oh, and look at that. Getting to first. McCunis goes to third. Both of these teams can score, Ciro. Seeing both of these teams can score. I know that much because seeing them play separately when we did the full day of softball on Wednesday, these two teams scored a lot of runs both. So I figured their defenses are good, but so are the bats.
Yeah, they are good.
So you've been to 21 games. If you had to pick a moment or two, what are two moments that stick out to you on the softball field?
I think the moments are, though, surprising that the teams are pretty much balanced, and they do it by the pick of the draw. And it happens, but they're pretty much evenly balanced as far as ability. Now they're doing it by the physical part.
Yeah, by class they see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And when they pick it out like that, they just do it.
Pickoff move.
It's like they do it on a computer.
By Andy Byrne.
Not by buddies or names or doctor's receipts or anything like that.
Right.
It's I don't know how they do it, but it comes out pretty much just like that game that was on here on this field that beat prior to this. 3-0 is a good game.
Oh, absolutely.
That's really a good game. If they can do the defense and score a couple of runs, they'll win. So it's.
Well, and the shortstops this year have definitely stolen the limelight. Booker T from the team made a catch like Ozzie Smith fell out of his chair and caught the ball.
I saw that. That was
Jimmy Green, Frank Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just been all over the place. What
Booker T is one of my favorite guys.
I got to know him on the basketball court, talking to him there, and yeah, he said, I wasn't going to drop that ball the other day. I was like, well, you obviously had the reckless abandon people always talk about in sports because you ditched your chair, which you need. And, he held his hand up, and it was perfect. O'Brien pops it up.
Throws to Tipton on third for the force out. No run scored.
Oh, that is the third out. So, the white team gives up some runners. Andy Byrne pitching, but the defense ends up holding up. Softball I know, and obviously you started with UPS and the slalom, but what are some of your other favorite sports to check out here throughout the years?
Here?
Yeah, at the games.
Oh, I love basketball, of course. I like any action sport. Now, people will say, well, this is boring because you got balls that come in and go out, and then you throw the base and all that stuff. But this takes a lot of skill.
Oh, absolutely.
I also like field exercises. I used to volunteer, even when I was sponsoring softball. I would go out to the field and participate as a volunteer with the field exercises.
Oh, yeah.
With the shot put, with the pole vault. Not the pole vault.
Javelin.
Javelin.
Right?
Those are exciting games, and you have to really look at them because it takes a lot of strength to throw those. The javelin and the shot put, a lot of strength to get those things out. I had to leave those kind of events because of the heat, and but I mean they were good. They were good. It takes a lot of skill. Those are other events that I liked. And swimming, bowling. That's about it. And you know the other ones are swimming is good. Bowling. Pool. Archery.
Have you checked out the quad rugby?
Oh, yeah.
The loudest sport in here. Maybe besides, I guess, the air rifle and air pistol, technically. But
nothing. Compared.
Yeah, it's awesome to see what these athletes. Again, no use of their core, and again, being vets. I always look at it. I relate it to the movie Transformers, where there's this one line where John Voight says to John Turturro when he slammed down, he goes, "I would tell him what he wants to know because these guys are trained not to lose," and that's the attitude these men and women take out here. You know, you wake up and your life has changed in an instant. I mean, unfortunately, but you know what? And all of them have said to me, you have 2 ways to go. You can sit around and be depressed, or get out and participate in things. And even this year, it seems like more and more novices, the first years that I've come across this year. And again, they get out, they get in events, and everybody's supportive. Yeah, they want to win. They all talk about getting goals, but they're all giving each other suggestions, especially at the slalom, all telling each other about the course, all giving each other suggestions, cheering them on. So it's just that is the spirit of the
safe
games.
thing here. They really work. They really work with each other and for each other. That's the nice thing, and there's no animosity when the game is over.
Absolutely,
you're either a winner or a loser, but you're not a loser in any way.
No. The only trash talking that remains, like we were saying the other night, is between the branches after they get off the field, because they all have jokes about each other. Army, Navy, Air. I stay out of it. I just smile and nod. Ciro, I smile and nod. They're like, "What do you think, Michael?" I'm like, "I'm not even getting in. I'm not even getting into that discussion." No, not taking sides. You're all great. Look at Andy again. He's got the best costumes in his bag.
Yeah, look at that mask he's got.
He's got the red, white, and blue mask. He's got the nice bow tie.
Oh man,
stars and stripes. He's not a character at all, though. We got to get him out of his shell, Ciro. Ciro de Gasper's joining me, the man that started this, the Gaspers Family Foundation. 23 members, and yeah, it's funny. Your son Dave told me. I mean, your granddaughters came here at 5, 6 years old, and now some of them are married with kids.
Yep.
So they've definitely grown up at these games, and a lot of these athletes know. And obviously, know your family that have played, and I know. Just speaking to Jimmy Green, it's like 120 for softball, and this is. Ever since it started, is like always the first to go.
Yep.
So just 120. Although I did put, I was going to suggest to you, see what you think about this kicker for next year, because Andy says everybody always approaches him, says, "Oh, I hope you're on my team." So next year I say you make 121 players, and he plays for every team. He said he was okay with that, but yeah everybody wants.
He would have loved it. He would love. He
absolutely.
He would play every inning of every game. He loves it.
Oh, the hit down to Tipton. And look at Tip across to Sean Castle. I mean, like you said, all the sports and the competition, but just it is just insane to see, like I said, the veracity which they still adapt to sports. And like Sean said to me last year, we play sports too. We just need a chair.
Yeah,
it's only different. So, and the Kids Day is one of my favorites, because last year this year I got to see a teeny bit of it, but just to see the parents come out with kids who unfortunately may have been born with that, but to see these vets and what they're doing, and for the parents, to me, it's almost more relief, because kids are going to be resilient.
Yeah.
But the parents kind of take that deep breath. Last year in Cincinnati, I saw some just like, wow, there is something. Their friends are going to play sports, but you know what? So can they. And there was one kid last year, and I was doing basketball, sir, but I kept missing some place because I looked over. He had a Spider-Man helmet on. He was everything over in the clinic they were doing. I could just see the smile on his face, and he was all go, just like these vets are. Oh, and Andy strikes him out. See, he distracts him with his getup, with his wrestling getup.
I think that's what he does it for.
Hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So, but it's awesome, yeah, because last year, like I said, Dave, your son talking about, what you started and the family and everybody coming out here getting bigger and bigger. Pretty soon you guys are going to have to you're going to have to reserve your own hotel.
I can't afford it.
And now, if I remember right, Dave was saying last year within the foundation that, obviously you guys go out and fundraise. If I remember right, you go out and fundraise, but it's not, I'm going to say it backwards.
There's only four charities that we support.
Okay.
There's the PBA. There's my church. There's my college, my alma mater.
And what is that?
That's Bryant University. And
the ball goes to the wall. Dave Smith's rounding first. Hustle in the second. Hannigan picks up the ball, throws it into short.
Wow, what a big hit there.
Smith is safe at second with a
safe.
rope into center field.
And
to lead it off for the white team.
So the PBA, your college, the church.
Yeah,
Tony Byrne on deck.
Oh, Jesus. Church and PPA.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So, and I don't take any contributions other than family.
That's what I was going to say, yes.
Yeah.
Because I asked David, if people want to donate.
No, I don't want to. That's too much paperwork involved in that.
Dude, very true.
When the government gets involved, you're screwed.
Big swing by Patna.
So if the family's in there, I don't have to report it. I don't have to, always quarterly reports and all that stuff. I don't have to do that.
Hey, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
I don't get as much money, probably not, but I got just enough to do what I want to do.
And that's awesome to get back
and set it. And he's safe at first on a close play.
Wow, big throw from center field there.
Field on a close play. Nice arm.
That was Kevin Patton.
And Patton safe at first with a single. Smith remains on second.
I'm still waiting for the home run, Ciro. I'm still waiting for somebody to hit the home run. I think it can happen in this game.
Well, I think Andy, yesterday, Andy came within.
Oh, on Wednesday, yeah, he did. He was so close.
To the lights.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure he would hit the light. And when he hit that, I thought it was going to hit the wall. At least hit the wall.
Hard hit ground ball, but right to the goal. He tosses over to third for the force out on Smith. And then over to first for the double play.
So that's Tony Byrne. And speaking of a novice, this is her first game, Ciro.
Pardon me?
She just grounded out. Tony Byrne. She's a Navy vet, but this is her first games.
Oh, there's a lot of initial first year.
Yeah, which is
players.
Again great to see because get out and there's a woman from there's a competitor, a vet from Minnesota. She her first games and she got in six different events. So you know what? If I'm going to go, I'm just going to go all out.
Terrific. That's the way you got to do it. You got to do it.
But yeah, be doing track last year too. To piggyback what you were saying, even seeing the field events and the track. With just how that. You think of all arms, and I think back to when I ran track, I did the decathlon through my freshman year of college, and I'm like, if I had to do all this this way, I was like, oh my god. But again to see getting up, throwing like you said the javelin and the discus and the shot put with. Again, all upper body, which you're told when you're learning those events to do all the, using all your body to do it, and the fact that they do it like that, and again, even with softball, again, and the interesting approach that I learned last year too, it's more control for them because obviously the chairs move a little bit, but to hit with that backhand with one hand, but there are a few hitting with two that have been pretty successful as well.
I tried that. As part of the selling of the softball to PVA, I had to prove that it can be done. Sitting in the wheelchair.
Right.
And I did that. I went, as part of the proof, I got in the chair and I played the game. And I got in the batter's box and I hit the ball. Well, first time I swung, I missed.
We go to the bottom of the third.
I missed terribly. I came right out of the chair. My second swing,
I was told this
I hit
is
the
not
ball
gonna
in
be a
center
racial
field.
game. It's not black and white.
And I
This
pump.
is
Hit a home run.
Texas and Apollo.
But the veins in my arm, worse than this, but
Leading
all
off
popped, all one made veins. All the veins here I popped.
Oh no! On deck,
And I was
Keating.
pooped. And I saw everybody laughing. I says, what the hell are you laughing about? I said, look at my arm. What are you laughing about? Yeah. They had taken the air out of the tires.
That's the trick that you're trying to prove it to them that it can work, and they're playing jokes on you.
But that's what they have to be faced with.
Oh, that's true. Because actually some guy was coming by us today at swimming, going to the thing, and all of a sudden we hear boom, his tire blew out.
Yeah.
I didn't need it for the water, but still, I had to go get it fixed and everything. But yeah.
But they had actually, as they pump in their wheels, it's as if they have to pump with their wheels flat.
Yeah, wow.
So Tom Brown was the event coordinator then for PVA, and he says, "Okay, Cyril," he says, "You sold me. They can do it." And from that point on, that was in Georgia when we first did that. Next year, softball was put in.
And it's obviously been here ever since, and
Yeah.
great success because, like Jimmy Green said and Andy, the first 120 get in goes into the computer, like you said, after they with their rankings.
And now they have more players sign up for softball than any other event.
Yeah,
they have to cut it off.
Yeah. I know, because they're busy and their schedules, and I mean to get everything scheduled too. I mean that's crazy.
They have to get in early because they have schedules to meet. They have to get their softball in. They have to get their basketball in. They have to get every other sport that they have to call. Oh, that's a shame when it gets like that.
Yeah. Johnson trying to get it out. Tipton throws it across. Oh, and Tipton, with the help of his shortstop, Frank Johnson. And you're right, Cyril. That is tough. I learned that from Mike Gilbo the other day. Is how it's not easy when it gets hit right at being in a chair. You think that's why they turn a little bit to the side because they can scoop it up and make the throw.
Yeah.
Joshua, the mailman, Mailey's up with
mailman, and Joshua, Cyril has actually told me. I learned the other day he's actually legally blind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, just another.
He goes by the sound. He goes by sound. He sees emotion out there, but that's about it. Yeah. See, he saw that strike, but he couldn't.
Well, Andy now added his firefighter helmet.
Yeah.
He likes to mix it up. Oh.
Strike three up, three down.
Josh actually drew 2 walks Wednesday and scored twice, but 3 up, 3 down. Cyril, you're a great man. I'm going to let you enjoy
appreciate
this now. No, you're a great man. Thank you so much, obviously, for
Well, I hope I was more attentive, but
hey, a fellow Paisan, come on, we're Italian. We got to stick together.
You can fill in where I
I could never fill in for you. Come on.
I mean,
don't go.
So what do you represent now? What do you mean? What company do you represent?
Oh, well, the PVA actually hires Floodstream, and they started doing the live stream last year. Our director here was trying to get them to do it because they shot a lot of features and they would shoot stuff, but never had like live streaming games. And he's like, the equipment's here. We just need play-by-play guy. So I try and offer my my talents up to see if to get it done. So yeah.
We asked the photographer to be here for today, for today's games to take a family photo.
Well, I do see photographers all over, so
there was a guy I talked to. What was that guy's name? What was that guy's name, the photographer? The photographer.
So one out there. Again.
The guy that was going to take.
As pitching. I don't know.
Strike 2 on Bricker.
Dave out into it. Just ended it 2 more outs. Yeah, at the end of this game. At the end of this half inning.
So on pitching now, I shouldn't say pitching. I forgot to say pitching. That is number 12. That's Sonny DeGuzman. The shortstop the ground ball goes to the shortstop. That is Terry Rock, who's also a very solid pitcher. Sonny DeGuzman. So yeah, we got one more half inning with you, and then we're gonna bring your troublemaker son over. I'm in trouble now.
No, when Dave comes over.
Yes, 3-0. Still the score here as Apollo in the black jerseys taking on Team X. So Apollo and X in the white. As batting right now, that is number 13, Juan Sandoval.
2 outs, though. Jeez.
Oh, and the ground ball. Oh, and DeGuzman, look at that. Gets it out from under his chair. Goes over to Terry Rock.
Guzman is good.
Base.
He's good.
Yes. He is, well, yeah, he's, I saw him the other day. Both these teams are very solid.
He's a little ornery, but.
Well, you got to keep him in line. Sir, thank you. Again, we'll talk after
Thank
the
you,
game.
baby.
We're going to get your, we'll get your son in here, and I'll try and keep him in line. I know it's tough to do, huh?
Yeah, what'd you do?
I'll try. Ciro DeGasper is joining us again. So great. 21 years ago, got UPS involved, and they've been 35 out of the 38 years. UPS has been involved, and then you heard him, the Gasparis Foundation, all family, don't take donations. He wants to make it easy, no paperwork. So it's good stuff from the Gasparis family.
Leading off for the black team, Bill Hannigan on deck. Walter Locklear, I'm handing off the microphone to my nephew. Thank you.
So yeah, we're going to have Dave DeGasperis join us as Hannigan leading off for Team Black, and it's still Team Apollo. I'm going by the jerseys. My apologies. As well, it is a family affair. As now, well, again, the DeGasperis Family Foundation, and we got getting to talk to Ciro. He said last year, hopefully I'd get to talk to your dad, so I did here this year, and yeah, he's got great. So he said to try and keep you in line. I said, if you could, and I don't know if I'm going to have any luck at that.
Yeah, my father was thrilled to be able to come this year. He hasn't attended the game since Dallas, and his health reasons, he can't fly. So this year he lives in Florida. We're able to drive up here, and he's thrilled because he hasn't seen some of these guys for 3 years.
Right.
You know, and it was like a reunion. Everybody's coming up to him. He loves it, and honoring him to sit at this booth with you made his day.
It's awesome. And then obviously the picture that Andy presented him with before the game, Andy Byrne, who, man, I don't know if he's probably got to check like 4 bags just with all his get-ups for everything.
Every year he surprises us with another outfit. Andy was in his former career was a fireman.
Yes.
So hence the uniform he's got there.
He's got the stars and stripes, the armbands, and then the bow tie. Dave DeGasperis joining me. Good. And yeah, I got it right with your dad. He's like, yeah. He goes, started the Family Foundation, no outside things. He goes, because I didn't want to do any paperwork.
Yeah, he had enough of that working for UPS for 34 years.
Exactly. Yeah, and we were touching on, because I know you and I talked about it last year as well, about how moving it inside. I mean, because this time of year, like I told you, we were out swimming today.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of the athletes in between their events, because look at that, Little Mick with the hit there. Matthew McCunis, who told me to call him Little Mick the other day when I was standing next to him. I'm like, I'm barely taller than you right now, so I don't know if I can call you Little.
Yeah, you don't realize how tall these guys are. You know, before their injuries, you know, I don't know if you met Anthony Pone.
Oh yeah, basketball.
Professional basketball player. He's 6'7", I think, normally, and he's one leg amputee, but he stands up. He's towering. Not only is he just as wide, but he's tall too. But he's a gentle giant, though. Yes. Anthony Pone, nice man. We've known him for many years, and he's back at the games, and he played softball for the first time.
He told me he was the intimidator. That's why I wanted him on the team. He goes, "This is my first time, Michael." He goes, "I don't know. It's not like basketball." I go, "Oh, you intimidate him in basketball. I'm sure you'll get those walks."
We finished off that game with Anthony with a line shot right to the pitcher. Almost took his head off.
Oh yeah.
That Wednesday's game. I forgot who that was, but
wasn't it? It was. Yeah, it was a black team. It was
Terry Rock,
Terry
right?
Rock.
Yes,
yeah.
Terry Rock.
Terry Rock. Yes.
Yeah, he just put his hands up for protection, and the ball happened to land right there.
So 2 down here.
You gotta love that as a pitcher.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
So I asked your dad, because I didn't ask you this year, and I know obviously he's been around, and I was teasing him saying, because you told me last year, I mean, your daughters were little, and now, you know, married, some have kids, and, you know, 23 of you, and I was teasing him, first of all, you might need your own hotel pretty soon coming
We pretty much have the 7th floor locked up at the at the hotel connected to the convention center. Yeah, we're pretty stacked this year. We had the most. This is the most we've ever had. We've had everybody's here except for one person in the family. He got sick and he couldn't come. My brother-in-law. But this is the largest Gaspris representation we've ever had for the games. And you know, it's they all love to come every year, but sometimes work restraints and health issues, they can't always make it. But this year was a good year, especially this year because my father was able to come this year.
Yeah. So what are, I asked him, you know, maybe a few moments that stick out to you. If you had to pick a few, I guess, big moments for you, or what sticks out to you in the years covering softball.
Well, I tell you, some of the special years we've had were some of the real beautiful venues that we were at. We went to Alaska one year, Anchorage. We played softball outside. We could do that there because it was 70 degrees.
Right.
You know, and it was beautiful. A little rough because it's in a parking lot, so you have that asphalt issue. And if they fall out of their chair, then not only the impact hurts them, but also the scraping and you know, at least if they fall here, it's a hard surface, but it's a smooth hard surface.
Right.
So we had a few accidents in that venue in Alaska, and that was beautiful because the mountains were in the background. It was just a gorgeous venue. Denver was a memorable venue too because obviously the mountains in the background. But you know, every year the city gives us a good effort. This year Orlando did a terrific job. No complaints. They set up the venue beautifully. There's been no snafus, and we're at the gold medal games, and we started on time, which is always a beautiful thing.
I know, because last year I mean, back to back. I know we're a little bit
tough. It's tough.
Off, but he is Dave DeGasperis, a stickler for the time a little bit, which
because
I mean,
now they just instituted a rule. We have 75 minutes no matter what, no matter if you're last licks team and you're not in the lead. If the time is up, the time is up. Except if it's a medal game, then we go until the end.
Yeah, I was going to say the medal deserves the full 7 innings.
Oh yeah, you have to do it. I mean, these guys got this far. How you couldn't deny it, and now we got Big Andre the Giant up here.
Yes. Almost hit that home run on Wednesday. Hit the light. I thought that was gone. I've been waiting for a home run. I'm like, no one of these guys can do it.
Shocking this year because the fence is short this year. It's shorter than normal, and I don't think we've had anyone hit it over the fence this year.
No.
And normally we usually get Andre usually hits at least one out every year, and there's a couple other players that can do it too. But he's usually a definite constant. You know, you can always count on him to put one out. But the game's not over yet.
Yes.
And he's up at bat now, so you never know.
And he's got his again fire helmet on. Oh,
well, there's didn't quite get a hold of it, but he's still going to get a hit out of it.
Brian comes over, but yes, he does get the base hit. Well, he did lift 300 today in the weightlifting. He was telling me, so I was out at swimming, but he said he hit at the same time, but hit 300 in weightlifting, so he's all stretched out.
He's all pumped up, and he's pumped up, yeah.
Tipped and on deck.
So, remind our viewers here, obviously. I mean, throughout the year, Lisa, but what does it take for you and your family? I mean, to get ready for this? I know, like your dad said, the 4 charities, his alma mater, the PVA. And church, but I mean, to get ready for these games, what's it like? Because I got to think it's pretty much a year-round thing for you. Once you say
it is,
probably get a week to breathe and then get ready for next year.
Really, I mean, they prepare they prepare for the games like usually 2 years in advance, so we know where it is next year, and we know now where it is the following year. The city that gets the commitment and the funding for it. So, but as far as a preparation for my family, it's I don't know if I said it to you before, but we donate. We're the sponsors of this event, and we give our money to make this event come to work and happen every year. But as far as our travel arrangements and staying here, and it's all self-funded. The family self-funds their travel expenses. We don't take that out of the foundation funds. That strictly goes to the athletes, and we take no outside money. So it's a rewarding foundation, and all the money goes where it's supposed to go, right to the athletes and the veterans.
Absolutely. And asking your dad, I said, what gave him, as you were growing up around, 21 years ago, but what was kind of being around UPS, and obviously got them in. They've been at all but 3 games, 35 of the 38 games.
Yeah, it's amazing. What a company. They're such a charitable company. They're huge employer of vets. They love having vets work for them, and it's a great company to work for them. Let's face it. They pay well, and you got to work hard. My father was started out as a driver. When he started out back in the 50s, a driver, and that's where everybody started out back then, even though he had a college education, and he moved up the ranks because of that, and here we are now, and he did well enough for himself to give it back.
Big hit, but he put too much on it, and look at that, getting thrown out from the outfield.
Nice defensive play there.
Wow, what a play.
Outstanding defense. I said in the beginning, the white and black team, they got some defense.
Oh, yeah. Well, and we were saying that the other night. They both can play D, but I know they can both hit, so surprised it's 3-1.
I expected a higher run in a game, but again, the defense is what's holding it tight.
But yeah, again, great to get involved in. Again, being out of swimming today, I was saying to your dad that, again, I know not having use of their cores, I've said it a million times, but I think each time I just am more and more shocked how even seeing the quads in the pool, how some of them are stroke-wise are just cutting through the water, and they separate the two sides because obviously the higher qualification levels have more function.
Right. But that's something to watch. My first experience for my kids and my wife was in 1998, the Pittsburgh games, and the first venue we went to was swimming. My wife almost had to leave. She's a nurse by trade, but she couldn't watch the athletes. She was having a tough time watching the athletes swim, struggling to get where they're going, and it came to a point where one of the swimmers, the match was over with, but he's got to finish his round. So 10 minutes we waited for him to finish. Everybody stood up, applauded for him, cheered him on, and he made it through.
Yeah, and some... there were a few competitors that kind of stopped in the middle towards the end, caught their breath, and then just with that kick. Just the effort it takes. In all sports, because, asking your dad told me about about how he had to prove that it could work, and he goes, he didn't realize, he came around, he goes, my veins are all bloody, he goes, they flattened my tires. I go,
yeah.
Wait, I go, you're trying to show how it can work, and they're playing jokes, and he's like, well, no, they wanted me to see. I'm like, yeah, but the first time, they could have, come on, give you a heads up.
Yeah, but they love. It's all in good fun, though. You hear, they're very competitive, but you hear us joking, me on the microphone joking all the time with some of the players that I know very well, and it's all in good fun. But I remember that time when they took, and he was wondering why he wasn't going very fast, but there was no air in his tires.
And he said he made it all the way around, though. He wasn't going to stop.
He did, and he was exhausted.
Dave DeGasper is joining me. Yes, the son of Ciro DeGasperis. I told him us Italians stick together. I just said he can come on as long as he wasn't going to yell at me too much. He's like,
and he's done a lot out over the years, believe me.
Yeah,
we grew up in a very conservative Italian household, very strict.
I know a little bit about that. So, 4-1 the score as Team X comes back on the field. And as Brian, definitely a vet of softball, because I asked him about that the other day. I'm like, wow, you're one of the few that likes to take the rolling approach, get a little extra power. But you're saying to your dad, if it works for you, don't. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, most guys use the tire braces on the floor, but he likes to get some momentum, I guess, before he takes the swing. He's got a big batter's box there, so he's got the room to do it.
Well, I mean, truly in softball, even though he's not left-handed, but the slap hitters in softball.
That's right.
You see getting out of the box quick, short, and getting down to first base. But for Mr. O'Brien, definitely. Oh, makes contact there. Can Frank Johnson get there? No, right into center field. And he will have a base hit. Well, Steve O'Brien.
Black team needs to get some.
So what assignments? I mean, with the whole clan here, because I didn't ask you this last year. So I mean, you get to do the PA because you're just doing this at it. But what assignments does the family get, and who argues for what assignments?
Well, I mean, my father's relinquished the responsibility of running his foundation to me 5 years ago. So this year especially was a tough year because we got 23 of them, and I like to get everybody involved. I want somebody to do something. I've taught my niece how to scorekeep in the book. My wife knows how to scorekeep from my days of playing baseball and softball. And the other field, my brother-in-law, I taught him. So there's no way we could do it just with 2 or 3 people. We need a full team. And we got little kids here too. Obviously, they can't do much, but
Number 4 races to pick it up.
Close play.
Yeah, Frank Johnson got it over to Sean Castle. A little bit of a short hop and flying down the baseline from Team Apollo's number 15, Javier Rodriguez. And this is his first games. Oh, I forgot O'Brien. Everybody's throwing around. O'Brien's going to come home. Oh, and he's safe.
The call is
Ryan
safe.
Lindstrom not agreeing with
Heads
it.
up base running by the black team. They're able to
Umpire
have a
saying
run.
no is. So what? Okay, I got to ask because
Nice
I didn't
hustle
see too
there.
many bang plays last year. What is? So he has to tag him before any
Yeah.
part of his wheel hits the plate.
he's
Any
got to
part
have the
of
ball,
chair.
obviously the ball in his possession, right? And he didn't have the ball in his possession, but one of the wheels has to be touching home plate, or he can just touch him with the ball.
Right.
But they like to block the plate, and I think they like to having that crash situation
Booker T.
occur.
Your dad's saying Booker T, one of his favorites. I mean, he had that catch the other day.
Oh
Obviously,
man,
was unbelievable.
that was
coming
one
out
of
his
the
chair.
21 years. That was one of the phenomenal
Yeah.
plays I've seen at doing this for 21
I
years.
said, I know it's the first day and it's early, but I'm just calling it the catch of the tournament because it's going to
Yeah.
be tough to top that.
God.
But he also, right before that, had the play where he's playing little bumper cars and
Yeah,
the home
yep.
plate came around and scored.
Some of these guys are so agile in their chairs; it's amazing. And if you watch basketball where they have to maneuver
Oh, yeah.
quickly, it's amazing the skills that they've acquired just by they're not handicapped as far as I'm concerned because
No.
I couldn't do that and I'm able-bodied. So
Yeah, that's what Sean Cass said to me last year doing basketball, and I think I mentioned it to you. He's like, we're athletes. We can play sports. We just need a chair. And
Absolutely.
that's my favorite part to kids say. I know I told you that before, but I was telling your dad too because last year there was a kid. I don't know if I told you this. I kept looking over from a basketball game. I shouldn't admit this being a play-by-play guy, but I missed some plays because this one kid, every time he was up, he had a Spider-Man helmet on, Dave. And you could see the smile on his face and, everything in the clinic that the guys are wow, ripped down to third base. And
that's a gold medal game shot.
yes, it is. That was a huge shot by Cedric Jeter, who swam earlier today quite well.
He came late to this because he was at track and field.
He went from swimming to track and field.
Yeah, and then came here. He wasn't up the first at bat, and they wish he was because that's the reason why he can hit frozen ropes out there.
And the hot corner, and it lives up to his name, Dane Smith. His 3rd year playing softball, 5th games. Look at him flexing the muscle out there.
And he hit a line shot earlier too.
Yes.
Another frozen rope.
We got our avid Chicago Cubs fan, Marco De La Rosa, up at bat. Move it up in the batter's box. Oh, and look at that. Chops it, Frank Johnson. Oh, of course, showing his range. Looking at the runner at third, and now.
Nice defense. Held him on third.
Well,
that's the way to play it.
Between Jimmy Green and Frank Johnson and obviously Booker T, the shortstops have stolen this the tournament this year.
They're like vacuums, and you know what? The guys, I guess it's hard when you're hitting, but they seem to always get the ball there around their region, and they have such range. These guys, Booker T or Jimmy Green, they'll go to second base to grab the ball. They have such speed and range. It's hard to get it by him unless you get it over his head.
Yeah, and all of them have gotten into the outfield too. Now Frank Johnson did it the other day. Jimmy Green did it.
Yep.
And Booker T said, "Forget going in the outfield. I'll just kind of push myself out of my chair and make a catch." My goodness.
And thank God he wasn't hurt
No,
because
yes.
he flew out of that chair. The amazing thing is he held on to the ball.
I figured he wasn't once he stuck his arm up like a player would
Unbelievable.
do. Goes right to Frank Johnson.
Picked up again by number 4. And Byrne first is in time for the final out.
And that was
Team Black gets 1 run closer.
Terry Rock
After
to ground
5
it out.
total.
But so
Team White leads 4-2.
it's 4-2 the score. 4-2 the score here at David Gasper joining me. I'm Michael Caratino. Again, we're so glad you could join us for the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America, and with the Gaspers Family Foundation, the wonderful sponsor of softball for the last 21 years. All family. Everybody's teasing me because I told you last year I don't do white shirts. You haven't seen me in a white shirt all
Well, you know, it's and I see that you got our family color on. Was that in honor of us for this day?
You know, the funny
or you
thing
just
is,
happened to?
I was going through colors and I was like, oh, I wore that, can't wear the same shirt. And I was like, oh, and I was going to wear one, but I'm wearing it tomorrow, so people have to stick around to see what it is for the championships.
No, I like it.
Yeah, so I don't do the white shirts with ties. It's all colors. It's much more fun.
It's funny, this year the volunteer shirts were the same color too. The volunteer shirts, they change the color every year. This year they made them the same family color, so they're everywhere now.
You started a trend, and we all stuck to it. As Sonny DeGuzman pitching to Frank Johnson. The shortstop had a big game. That goes into left field. Oh, and it's caught.
Nice catch by left.
Oh, man, that was 0-0. It's on. Oh, there it is, Steve O'Brien. Yeah. I was going to say orange too.
Now
Steve
O'Brien. For the white team,
man, what a catch there. Jose Nieves. Team from Puerto Rico. At the opening ceremonies the last 2 years, they're awesome. They got their music coming in and playing the music. They are ready to go.
Big delegation, too, from them. We had the games there 1 year.
I vote for taking it back there.
It was tough games that year because they had no convention center. So softball, believe it or not, was outside in July.
Oh, yes. Not easy.
It was not easy.
Oh, he pops it up, and Sonny DeGuzman makes the catch for the second out. Base is still clear.
Now for the white team, number 16, Greg Jack. Bud McElroy on deck.
Greg Jack will come up, his third year playing. First playing softball, though.
Yeah, we have quite a few newcomers this year, I've noticed, and it's great to see. Like I said, softball's probably the number 1 or number 2 selected sport by the athletes. Yeah. You know, it fills up quick. They can only allow so many, and I've even received phone calls from athletes. I have no control, but they've asked me because we're the sponsor, can you get me in? I didn't make the list. I says I have no control over that. It's up to the PVA, and you know, and it wouldn't be fair to somebody else that may want to do the same thing. So you could be an alternate. If somebody doesn't show up, they can fill them in.
Yeah, and I was saying to you, it was funny because Andy joined me on the broadcast on Wednesday as well, and he's saying, yeah, it's great, you know, the camaraderie. He's like, I get people coming up, oh, man, I hope I'm on your softball team. I hope I'm on your softball team. So I came up with a solution. I pitched it to your dad. And, again, it's just adding one, but 121 players, but Andy is the ultimate utility player. He gets to play for every team. So then everybody asking for him to play, he plays on their team.
That's right. Well, you know what it is? It's popular because, you know, you can have everybody plays.
Yep.
You have, now basketball's exciting too, but there's guys that are, you know, you have to rotate.
Yeah.
But everybody bats, no matter how many people are on your team. And as far as fielding goes, you can interchange all the time. So everybody's always involved in the game in softball, which is why it's so great.
And like we talked about last year, and again, just to get out and get involved, as Sonny DeGuzman is going to be leading off for Apollo, as Andy Byrne now. Oh, well, he changed. Oh, no. I think I know what that is. That's his Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Good. Him and Jimmy Green. I was going to start to give the Steelers a hard time, and then little did I know I'm sitting next to Jimmy Green, who's a diehard Steelers fan.
Who's a Florida resident now, too, I might add.
Yep. Lives close to. He said he's going to go see the Steelers play in Tampa this year.
Yeah, this year they're playing.
He said he's going to see him in Tampa and go to Jacksonville to see him play this year. So I had to dial back my my Steelers trash talk.
Yeah, you got to be
give him a
careful
hard
with
time.
that one because you don't want to make him angry.
Yeah, I know. He might fold me. He might roll me up as a softball, and that would be me. So I'd be trouble. Sonny de Guzman gets set. Andy Byrne waiting to throw the pitch. But, yeah, the defense again, these two teams.
I mean, you got to get it on a fly. A ground ball, these guys, the infield's going to scoop it up.
He told me about, look at that. Right to Frank Johnson. Easy scoop. And over to Sean Castle. And he told me like some mixes. I told him, I go, if you go back and listen, and I also let Laverne Anderson of the Purple Team know, if you go back and listen, I called your stuff junk, but it's a compliment because you play baseball, you know. Pitchers messing with the strike zone and throwing junk, it's
Absolutely.
a great thing because people are swinging.
I played baseball in high school and college. And I was a pitcher. That's what it's called, junk.
And not everybody can be Greg Maddox.
That's right.
Get like, just an inch of the ball to cross the outside corner, maybe be an inch off. People say, he got extra. I'm like, look, it touched the plate. They're major league pitchers, or they're major league hitters. They could swing and foul it off.
Exactly. But Andy's got some skills out there on the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, he said he'll spin it like that, he'll leave it flat, and, goes right to Frank Johnson. As he made good contact, watching him spin, and
making it look easy out there.
Didn't throw David Bellick off too much. Black off too much, pardon me, but he still grounds out.
Coming up for Team Apollo, number 16.
The mailman coming up. He told me the other day.
Bill Hannigan on deck.
Yeah, he made that clear to me when I announced his name. Please announce it as Mailman Maley.
Yeah, his dad started calling him that. Yeah, just again to overcome being legally blind. Drew 2 walks the other day, scored twice.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's just gentleman, and smile on his face all the time. Just a perfect gentleman.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. It was fun. It was fun getting to actually see you out because last year in Cincy, everything was early.
Yeah,
so,
it was tough.
Again, and I get the schedule, and believe me, when people say that, like I've talked to people from the PBA, I go, hey, if you're the broadcast, I'm not complaining. I'm saying I get the schedule, but like we cover stuff early. So when I'm like, my bed's calling my name because
it's tough. The morning schedules are tough. Yeah, you're right. Last year all the games were early. It was difficult. I prefer this. It's better for the family and it's better for the athletes too.
If they can spread it out, and I prefer, I'm with you, because if they can spread it out, because I know Ryan Lindstrom, who's catching last year because of scheduling conflicts, couldn't play in softball.
Exactly.
He did miss the first game, their first game. I was teasing him because he told me during rugby, I got into softball playing. First game, I see his name, he's not here because he was over at Slalom. Yeah. I was like, really? I'm talking you up, and you're not here. I got to go to Slalom. But yeah, if it can get the athletes in more sports and obviously in the confines of the week that the games are going on, then that's great. But yeah, it was just like I said, it's great to hang out with the family. Being Italian, we're all family. So
absolutely. Now, some of these players, they're such good athletes. They play basketball too. That's usually the conflict.
Yeah, Sean's a basketball player. Ryan's a rugby player, and
Anthony Pone is a professional.
Yeah. Frank Johnson, basketball player. In swimming today, there was a ton of quad rugby guys out there.
That's amazing.
Which again. And Mikey G was out there, did a great job.
Yep.
He was the catcher. He's like, they booted me out of softball. Typical Boston guy. guy.
Yeah.
Embellishing a little bit. No, so great to work with Mike Gilbaus. 4-2 the score. Top of the seventh inning. So the white team got to tie it up for the gold medal, Dave. But if the team can do it, they can.
Well, they got the skills, no doubt about it. It's whether they can get it past the defense. I'm just shocked that no ball's been hit out of this park. This is the shortest fence I've seen in years.
See, now you got to extend it next year, and then maybe it'll fly out.
I think you were there last year. A few went out last year. Yeah.
William.
That's swung on.
Fouled it off for strike 2. Oh, I knew I forgot to mention something. But I'm sure everybody figured out watching softball knows. The count starts at 1-1. Yes, it does speed the game up a little bit. How many of the players reset? But you only get like Mikey G said, you only get two. You get 2 good swings, so you better use them. And don't fall, as he said for a catcher. Don't fall for the pitcher's junk because you get 2 swings.
Foul ball on a third strike, you're out.
Yeah, William Lafitte, who was actually at shortstop the other day in right field. Oh,
that's a fair ball.
Raising up the line.
He's hustling down.
Yes, he is. That is.
Throw to first is not in time. Leadoff man on for the white team.
Bud McElroy.
Now coming up, number 3, Dane Smith.
Grandson?
That's her husband is a good friend of the family.
Okay.
He's a disabled vet too. He usually plays in the games, but he works for the Tampa VA now. His name is Jeff Hopkins. He's a really great guy. He's played in the games in the past. He's going to try to make it next year. He just came to visit.
Nice.
Big swing there. That's in the
That is
air.
big. Oh, and it lands.
Drops in front of the shortstop.
Well, he lets it
Gets
land.
the out at second, throw to first. Inside.
Double play.
Big double play.
Double play
They are
there.
down to their
Black
last
team.
out. But if you're going to have somebody come up that could start a 2-out rally, Kevin Patna, in his 23rd games, an Air Force vet. More
Now
Air
up for
Force
Team
vets,
White.
because I told you, obviously,
Number
last year I
5,
didn't get to
Kevin
call
Patton.
every game of each
Tony
sport that we
Byrne on
did.
deck.
But just there's quite a few more Air Force guys.
Yeah, a matter of fact, Andy
Yep.
Byrne is an Air Force vet. I know Frank is, and and this gentleman right here is a terrific guy. Does a lot for disabled vets in his spare time.
Again, I'm talking about the other day, whether like you said, you can donate money as that goes. Oh, to the right side of the infield.
Scooped up by number
and
18.
Lafitte scoops it up.
First is in time for out number 3.
Out.
Team Black does what they need to do to stay in this game.
Oh yeah, I said it backwards.
Yeah, it's bottom of the
Bottom of the
seventh. Yeah.
now. Bottom of the 7th now. And yes, they are the home team. I did get that right in the beginning when your dad was here. We were talking about that. So
Team
bottom
Black
of the
down to the
7th.
final 3 outs to overcome this 2-run deficit.
That's a good thing about winning the coin toss, being the home team.
That's right. That's
Leading
right.
off this inning is going to be number 17.
These guys some of these guys have to be very tired though. They had other events throughout the day.
Yes. Hannigan was
Always
swimming
looking to
as
get
well,
him
too,
started
like I
this
said.
inning.
I know that
Teams
Marco,
rely on you,
I think
Bill.
Marco Bungert for the white team was also out swimming. He's out in the outfield and left field for Team X.
He's a newcomer too to softball. Bungert, I don't
Oh, he is?
recall that
Okay.
name from last year.
And Bud McElroy, he had an interesting story. He got that last out. 6 years in the Marines and then 27 years in the Army, Dave.
Wow, you don't see that very
I know,
often,
I know. And-
switching branches like that.
And yeah, there's a few. There's only 2 other people. One of the women I talked to over at basketball was she was in the women's Army Corps and then had went to the Marines and then back into the Army. So yeah, you don't see
that's-
that often.
Number 4 comes in to
Oh,
scoop it up.
Hannigan, look at.
And throws
Well,
the
you
first
talk about the
inside
range.
for number
That had
1.
backspin on it. Frank
Yep.
Johnson flies in from short, picks it up.
That backspin that Andy puts on the ball really hampers the batter. He puts a lot of spin on that thing.
1 down. Now up for Team Black,
One
number
out, and
14.
yes.
Walter
Oh, now he
Locklear.
brought. Oh, look at this. Now he brings his terrible towel out
Matthew
to rub it
McCullers
in.
on deck.
I got a cousin that's a Steelers fan. I have to
Oh,
deal with that
man.
all the time, Dave.
And you saw earlier, I'm a Giants fan, and we had Ron Dixon here, who was nice enough to visit us here. He's a big supporter of the Vets also.
Yeah, he played in the media kickoff game. He was telling
Yeah.
me how bummed he was. He goes, "I know. I heard you calling it over there." I go, "What's a pick? It's tough. Able-bodied, you sit in the chair and then you think you're moving and
That's
you see that, like you were talking about earlier. You see them fly by you. You're like, I can't be moving this slow.
I know, exactly.
But going by and he's like, I missed all my shots. And I go, yeah, we got a good chance to interview Brandon Merriweather. He came out and participated
yes,
as well.
yes.
And Merriweather taught. He's like, Michael, I'm like 2 for 20 in threes, but I'm gonna hit one. And he did. He almost hit one. He missed. He's like, throw it back out. And on the follow-up, he got into it in front of the rim and just rolled out though.
Team Black
It's
looking
tough.
to get
And like
a base.
even playing soft, like I said, if Mike didn't tell me, like, why would you turn your chair? I thought it'd make it harder, but you don't want it obviously to get stuck underneath.
Exactly.
Like we saw, but it's easier for them to field and throw. Oh, and he strikes out, not agreeing with the call. Oh man, that was.
Black team down to their final
that was
out.
You know,
Locklear.
it's yeah, he's usually a big
They need to
hitter,
get
but
somebody aboard here to stay
with
alive.
only two swings in your at bat, you gotta make use of that. Even if it's close, you gotta swing.
Arthur Wimberly is on deck.
Well, if somebody can hit a home run, little Mick, like he said, Matthew McCunis.
Yeah, he's a big boy too.
These are his second games, an Army vet. Going with the two-handed. He's got the gloves on too. I like
Yeah,
it.
most of the batters use one hand when they bat.
Yeah.
They get a more of a stretch with their arms.
Yeah, that's what And I was talking to your dad and Mike talking.
Let's
He's
hear
like,
some
yeah, a
noise,
lot of
guys, for
times
Team
he
Black.
goes,
Come on
because of the
now.
balance, he goes, your chair moves a little bit, but
Right.
just with using the back arm, holding your chair a little bit, you still get that power.
Exactly,
Chair,
the leverage.
So now Byrne moving to the other side with the back spin. Oh, and that's a ball 3,
Matthew showing
3
some
and
patience
1.
at the plate.
Yeah. Taking the walk off the mound. McCunis not really phased. Maybe the unintentional intentional walk.
Yeah.
Never want to put runners on, but they're down to their last out, but a 3-1 count to McCunis. As Byrne delivers, McCunis swings, but where does it go? Right to the vacuum. Like Dave said, to Frank Johnson, and Sean Castle with it. And they come in, and the white Team X wins the gold medal. What a game, 4-2. I thought it might be like 15-13, but we get
I am surprised myself. I'm very surprised. I predicted in the beginning there would be a high-scoring game, but defense is everything in all sports. Defense is everything.
Well, they're cliches because they're true. People get tired of hearing them, but defense wins championships.
That's right, no doubt about it.
Offense will always sell tickets and anything, but defense is where you make your money. Well, hey, we'll let you get ready for the medal ceremony.
Thank you again, Mike. I appreciate it,
Absolutely.
and good. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss about my family and our foundation, and
I
hope
know
to
these
see
guys
you.
appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Hope to see you again next year.
Absolutely. Dave DeGasperis, as he will get ready for the gold medal ceremony. The teams are going to teams will congratulate each other. All right, so yes, the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. The Team X wins the gold medal in softball over Team Apollo. And thanks to the DeGasperis family, obviously sponsoring softball. We're going to step aside. We're going to have the medal ceremony. Don't go too far. We'll step aside real quick here, and we will be back with the medal ceremony for Team X, well, the gold medal team, and Apollo. They'll get their silver medals, but the gold and silver medal ceremony here from the Orlando Convention Center.
At the pitcher's mound. Okay, silver medal team, can we all meet at the pitcher's mound? Apollo, Team Apollo. Distribution of the medals. The Apollo team, silver medals, pitcher's mound. Distribution of the medals. The Gaspers family, please join us out here. Everybody representing the Gaspers family, please join us out here. Roberta, Jessica. The girls are going to distribute the medals. We also have a couple people with us. The special people that are here on you guys. PBA's National Vice President Hack Albertson is here with us.
Welcome back to the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. Michael Caratino, as we are getting the silver medal ceremony. That's the Gaspers family out there. And like Dave said, 23 members, the most they've had in the 21 years that they've sponsored it. And they are out. And as you see, Team Apollo getting their silver medals. And 4-2 was the final score. Team X over Team Apollo, as they will get their silver medals. See everybody taking pictures. And there's our man Ciro out there with one of his
come on.
great grandchildren.
Girls.
And now we're going to toss it to Dave DeGaspers as the medals will be presented.
Congratulations, Apollo team. I almost said black again, but it's not a race issue. This is Apollo versus X. Silver medalists of Team Apollo. The men in black, they like to be referred to. Thank you. We got a lot of newcomers this year, too, so it's good to see you guys. Thank you very much. Everybody's got a medal. Thank you, guys. And we're going to get a picture with the group. Family behind, please. The Gaspers family. DeGaspers family, everybody representing the DeGaspers family. My father says anybody that wishes they were DeGaspers, come join us. Okay, great. Thank you, Apollo. Men in Black.
As we saw Team Apollo there get their silver medals.
Red team, please come down to field one if you can hear
Teeny
me.
bit backwards because the red team just wrapped up. They won. They got their bronze medals. So they will actually come over. So we'll wait for the red team to come over here to field one on the softball field. Mercury. Mercury's the red team's name. Dave DeGasper was asking.
Red team, come down to field one. Medals.
There's the silver medal team. We see Team Apollo with their silver medals. Now,
Team
oh,
Mercury Stole.
look at Andy. Mr. Pittsburgh Steelers got his two dogs.
Come on, you guys, run faster. Let's go. Red team, come over to the pitcher's mound for medal distribution.
So the red team making their way over. Again, Jimmy Green. We had him on twice, playing on the red team. He gets the bronze medals. So the Apollo team who got the silver medals: Matthew McCunis, David Bellick, Javier Rodriguez, Cedric Jeter, Terry Rock, Sonny DeGuzman, Edward Keating, Austin Burchard, Steve O'Brien, Arthur Wimberly, Josh the Mailman Maley, Welton Locklear, Marco De La Rosa, and Wild Bill Hannigan get the silver medals.
Special visitors here. We have Tim Lazert from the VA, right here to my right.
As the red team comes in and the bronze medal team.
From the PVA, Vice President.
That is Jimmy Green, Paul Misek, Ken Hernandez, Roderick Slaughter, Jesse Gonzalez, Enrique Lopez, Brett Klingen, Roy Wilkins, Stephen McGuire, Joseph Sapienza, David Christopher, and Julius Lee are the bronze medal winners in Team Red.
Mr. Zerflu is here also. We have three special people honoring you guys, which I think is pretty good. I don't know why, but they are.
So as the red team's coming over, see them getting the medals, and
We'll
kick it over to Dave DeGasperis.
Medal here, guys.
Okay, Team Mercury, bronze medal. Thank you for a great year. Stand by for a photo with the DeGasperis clan also. Enrique, where were you? Okay, DeGasperis family, let's stand behind them. Photo with DeGasperis clan, everybody. A little faster, Pop. There you go. Great, congratulations, Team Mercury, our bronze winners of softball this year. Thank you for a great year, you guys.
So the Team Mercury gets their bronze medal, and now the gold medal winning team, Team X, and Greg Jack, Frank Johnson, the shortstop, Jose Nieves, Tony
Team
Bird,
X, the white team.
James Tipton,
Join us on the
Dane
podium.
Smith, Juan Sandoval,
Team X, gold medal team. the
Andy
white
Byrne,
team. Join us on the podium.
Billy Ray Pierce, Sean Castle, Kevin Patton, Bud McElroy, Marco Bungert, Michael Brickert, and Ryan
Team X
Lindstrom
in front of the sign
are
here.
the gold medal winners, as Mercury making their way away from the DeGasperis Foundation sign, the medal stand, as they they'll come over, get in front of the sign, and then they'll get their gold medals. And now they're all getting their medals and getting ready for the
Team
picture.
X, can we get in front of the sign, please? Scoot down, scoot down. Boy, you guys, this is. Where's the teamwork?
As they're trying to get involved as or trying to get everybody to the medal stand as well, they're getting their medals and then all coming back to take a team picture. And Frank Johnson, and he then getting his gold medal. Actually skipped swimming today. He said he did rowing, like I talked about earlier, got the gold medal in rowing, and unfortunately had cracked a tooth, so he's got to go in the morning to get that fixed. And he'll do that in the morning, and then he'll be playing some basketball in the afternoon. So very, very interesting to see, as waiting for everybody to get their medals and the DeGasperis family to get in behind.
Okay, photo with the DeGasperis
take a
clan.
picture.
Everybody from representing
Send it over to
DeGasperis, get in
Dave.
here one more time.
One more time. Let's go. Get in the photo here. Congratulations to our gold medal team, 2018, Team X. Thank you for an exciting year, guys. Great game.
Well, I echo that. It was a great game. Apollo falls short, and Team X gets the gold medal as they're taking the picture with the DeGasperis family, and they are got their gold medals and getting the Team X shout there. So, well, definitely want to thank the DeGasperis Family Foundation, but Ciro DeGasperis got this all started 21 years ago with sponsoring softball, and Dave DeGasperis for joining us as well. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget, check out wheelchairgames.org/live-streaming.com for times and links for the rest of the live streams this week. I'm Michael Caratenuto for Dave Heil, Mike Danik, Abby Hosey, and Ciro and Dave DeGasperis. Thanks for joining us here at the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, co-presented by the Department of Veterans Affairs and the Paralyzed Veterans of America. Don't forget, Championship Saturday tomorrow. We start with the Super G. And yes, we've been talking about it for a few days. Check out the Super G tomorrow morning at 9. And then we have 9:30. Pardon me, 9. Well, get up at 9. Be ready for it. But at 9:30, we have the Super G, and then we'll have quad rugby and basketball championships to follow that. Again, wheelchairgames.org/live-streaming. No .com, just live-streaming. My apologies. I just got that note. But anyway, we will see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Congratulations to Team X. Thanks to the DeGasperis family again sponsoring softball. We're going to get out of here. Good night from the Orange County Convention Center here in Orlando, hosting the 38th Annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games.